And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Awubery Park Flower Show and Fair, only on Channel 4. Nobody does it better.
Hello, welcome to the annual Awubery Plant Sale and Fair and Plant Sale. And we have with us one of our most distinguished residents of Germantown, Mount Airy, Mr. Joseph Coleman, President of City Council and Councilman for our district. Mr. Coleman, it's good to have you here today. How do you like it?
It's certainly good being here, and it's a wonderful fair we're having here today, and I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Coleman has been knowing me ever since I was a little boy. That's why he stopped to speak. I'm 39 years old now and not an Emlyn School member. So tell me, what's one of the more community-oriented issues in City Council at this time?
Well, actually, we own the operating budget, and we're thinking about and talking about and looking at the services that is being rendered or not being rendered to the people of the city of Philadelphia, and the amount of budget and money that's being set aside for that purpose. And that is the thing that is bothering us a great deal, and I've come here today to actually see the people as they have their various days and their affairs and their community affairs, and to hear their expressions as to the kinds of services that they're getting.
Well, look, as I know Mr. Coleman for years, he has been my politician since I was old enough to vote, since I came from Vietnam at 21, and he's been a strong component for the people in the Northwest. And Mr. Coleman, now there's an issue that I just read about yesterday evening about the Criminal Justice Center. It's supposed to be some monetary controversy over that. Could you explain it briefly for the audience, please?
Well, the Criminal Justice Center has been long in the making, and as you know, that the first draft of it, the architectural drawing, called for a building that was really much too high for the space we had for it. And what has been done is that we have acquired additional space. The funding of it, of course, will be taken from our capital program, and I don't see any problem with that at all, really.
Okay. Well, may I ask you one more thing before I let you go? We see there's some controversy. I was down Center City. I'm an attorney, too, after yourself. And I was coming from court one day, and I saw the Teamsters down there demonstrating, and I think it had something to do with the convention center. The mayor is really doing some things, whereas I'm a newly found Republican now, and I shouldn't have put that plug in. And the mayor is really doing some things in the city that weren't really put on by the press. I just heard of the Criminal Justice Center about a week ago. What's holding up the convention center?
Well, the convention center is a problem within itself. It is very complicated. It contains a lot of features that are undesirable, and yet it contains some features that are desirable. The city of Philadelphia does need a convention center, but the Commonwealth or the legislators in Harrisburg have attached so many obnoxious features to the bill they have before it until it has made the act that it will ultimately pass totally objectionable to Philadelphians.
Okay, now would you tell me what part does Teamsters have to play in this? I mean, are they just the workmen or the contractors or subcontractors, or do they hold a viable component to the contract with the state?
I think it's the jobs that they're concerned about, the construction jobs, what they're mostly concerned about, and they want the jobs, and I don't blame them from that. But you see, the debt service to the tune of $17 and $19 million a year for the next 30 years would be upon the shoulders of the taxpayers of Philadelphia, and it's our responsibility as council's responsibility to see that equity is done, and we just can't dive blindly into this and okay something that will create construction jobs for people only to settle the taxpayers of the city of Philadelphia with debt service for the next 30 years.
Yes, sir. Now, I'd like to ask you two more guarded questions.
Go right ahead.
When are you going to make your bid to run for the mayor of the city? I think you should be the next man to really be considered for that position, because you've been a Philadelphian all your life. You're a Germantown person, and you put a lot of time in your career, and we need someone as strong as you. Would you consider it at all?
It is not my contention to aspire to the office of mayor of the city. I think that what we need to do is to get longevity in a particular office, and from that point have seniority and control there. And at this point in the city council, I have that, and this is what has that has helped me to become the president of the city council and have the influence there that I do.
Okay, that's beautiful. You're going to keep your tenure as president.
I intend
we
to do
need
that.
you. And thanks a lot, Councilman Coleman. And my name is Cleveland Douglas.
I know who you are.
You know, you knew me for a long time. You knew me when I was a little kid.
I sure
And
did.
I'm proud to be a man and know you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Councilman Coleman, President of the City Council, Philadelphia.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
WCHW TV4 Philadelphia. We're still the one.
You're still having fun, and you're still the one. You are still that makes me shout. You're still the one that I dream about. We're still having fun, and you're still the one. You are still the one. You're still the one. We're still having fun, and you're still the one.
Give me a break. Only on the Family Entertainment Station, weeknights at 5 and 6. Nobody does it better. The Awubery Park Flower Show with your host, Doug Bay, on Veda Communications of Philadelphia. We're still the one.
We are at Awubery Park, fair and plant sale, and everybody's running away when they see we're on the air, but we're going to get you anyway. There's nowhere to run out here. I'd like somebody from this concession to come over and... Okay. Beautiful plants. I'm not a plant person, even though I have to take some courses in science this summer. Hello, how are you? My name is Cleveland Douglas. I'm from Veda Communications, Symbolic Image Productions, and we're a home video station here in East Germantown, West Oak Lane area. This is Eugene Dye, our cameraman, engineer, and chief director, and we've made about 7 documentaries in Philadelphia. We've done Mount Airy Day several times, and we decided to do you this time.
How nice. You've been here a long time.
You've been here a long time. Well, I've been playing in this park since 1958, so you know, I remember when we had a sheriff in Citations for throwing rocks. Now, your name again, miss?
Babo Stern.
Barbara Stern. My pleasure to meet you. We watch the camera, standing that way. And what brings you out here today? What organization do you represent?
I'm with the. I live inside the Awubery Arboretum, and I'm a member of the Awubery Neighbors, and are very interested in keeping the neighborhood the way it is and improving it in any way we can.
Fine,
And
I
this
agree.
money all goes to the Awubery Neighbors for various projects for helping children get summer jobs, as well as helping in the Arboretum as far as keeping it clean, new plantings, and so forth. It's probably one of the last open spaces in Germantown, and we would like to keep it that way.
I would like to see it stay that way. Now, tell me a little bit about the plants, since most people are interested in plants. Is there anything else you would like to say about the organization or the park?
No, I think the person you should probably talk to is either Harold Ash or Roger Scattergood.
We talked to Mr. Scattergood first.
They have been
We talked to him with
heavily
Councilman
involved.
Coleman.
It's very pleasant. For some of these people I see once a year when we come down here to do this. The same people have been involved in the sale year after year after year.
We keep talking. He was just doing random shots. Now tell me, I've been in this park ever since I was 8 years old, and I'm 39 now. Now, whatever happened to those real large, they look like gigantic row homes on the front part of the park? It's a big estate. Do you know what buildings I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I have not been here this long. I've been here. We've lived here for about 18 years now, and
Well, that's quite a while.
there haven't been any real changes as far as housing is concerned.
Well, before we never made it because it was on the other side of the hedges, and we would sneak under and crawl under.
Well, we still have people sneaking under and
Yeah.
over.
Oh, as kids, when we were
As
kids playing army.
The kids do the same thing. They play army, walking along the wall.
Yeah,
They get out in the
falling off.
pond and try to fish. Or sledding is still a big activity in the winter.
Sure,
It's
we
just
did it.
enough. Walking dogs, probably now one of the things is jogging. There are a lot of joggers that come through.
Now, we used to, I see you lost our little stadium there. That used to be our baseball and football stadium, the little uke with the level down. It's
I'm
off
not
the
sure.
off the main road.
Washington Lane?
No, off of this main road. As soon as you turn, and it sinks down, and by the turdy weeds, we used to call
Oh,
it.
I know where you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, down near the station.
Yeah, near down near the station. We used to use that as our little football and baseball. You know, we had when we were young, we played organized sports. And I think boys and girls
hopefully.
need that.
One of the things they're trying to do is to get more children interested in the Arboretum. During the last few summers now, they've run some nature study camps and involved a lot of the daycare centers and day camps, because the idea is if we can get children to enjoy the park without vandalizing, without just pulling up plants and bushes randomly, but get them to really appreciate it. Part of the money is also going to try and establish a really year-round nature program, try to involve the schools and the science teachers into making real use of the Arboretum.
Now, may I ask one more question, Mr. Dunn? What have you seen as the major change in the park and the homes and the estates that are here? I'm talking about demographics, and I'm also talking about aesthetic things also.
I would say since we've been here, I think things have been very stable. You're always going to have problems with random acts of vandalism, which you can't avoid. But on the whole, I would say this neighborhood is quite stabilized from my point of view.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Would you let us get a survey of your plants? Will you run across the plants?
We are featuring mostly annuals and vegetables. It's petunias and marigolds, impatiens. By the time you can see, we're almost sold out. And then we've had peppers and eggplant, lettuce, tomatoes. We pretty well stock what we know the neighbors around like to buy. It's a neighborhood plant sale, and so we just really have what we can sell from 10 to 3 today, and what we know the neighbors like to plant.
Okay, sounds good. And what is this a hobby for you, or do you have some special skill or interest?
No, I'm a kindergarten teacher. Because I've been running the plant sale for as long as we've had the plant sale. It's just I expect to do it every year as long as we live here.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Last name again, so I'll remember.
Stern.
Ms. Stern, it's my pleasure.
Thank
okay?
Vado Communications, WCHW TV4 Philadelphia. We are still the one.
You're still having fun, and you're still the one. You are still the one that makes me shout. You're still the one that I dream about. We're still having fun, and you're still the one. You are still the one.
We've got it, and that's Welcome Back, Kotter, weeknights at 6:30, only on Channel 4, the family entertainment station. We're still the one. And now back to our program on Channel 4 featuring Cleveland Douglas. We're still the one.
Welcome back to the Awubery Fair and Plant Sale. And we have two patrons to the flea market here. It's a beautiful day, and quite a few of the people have turned out to be interviewed by us. There's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. We have an airplane if you try to escape in a car. Now, and what's your name, hon?
Michelle Watson.
Okay, Michelle Watson, and yours?
Alicia Jones.
Alicia Jones. And are you Germantown residents or Mount Airy residents?
We Awubery residents.
Awubery, you live in the park.
Live right across the street.
Okay, right across the street from the park. And what high school did you attend?
Melrose Academy.
Oh, I know where that is. Isn't that a tricking you in here? Huh?
Both of us.
Yeah, both of you. Do you know a girl named Garnett? Garnett?
No.
She goes to North Carolina Central now. Garnett Wells. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe you don't. Have you both finished college, or?
I finished college.
Okay. What school did you go to?
College in New Rochelle and Drexel University.
Great. What are you? A biomedical engineer or something like that?
No, information science.
I own an information services corporation.
Really?
Germantown Trade Convention Enterprises Inc. We're not computerized. We will be computerized. We have a computer.
Mm-hmm.
But, basically, I'm an attorney by trade, and I'm getting ready to go back to med school. And I give out legal, health, and business information. And I start real estate and insurance, and we do videos.
You do everything.
I got to eat. I have an 18-year-old daughter at Notre Dame University, pre-med. So, that costs money. And what's your name, beautiful?
Alicia Jones.
And what area do you live in? You live in Awubery?
No, I live in East Oak Lane.
East Oak Lane. That's a nice section.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the fair today?
I think it's very nice. It's a very nice day, too.
And did you attend college, too?
No, I haven't.
You're working lady.
Right.
The money first, huh?
Yeah.
She's in high school.
I'm in high school right now.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. You look like a college person to me. I'm sorry. And what school do you attend?
Gwynedd Mercy Academy.
Gwynedd Mercy Academy. Now, I didn't know about the academy. I know about the college, right?
It's right
And is
there.
that located? Do you live in that area?
No, I don't.
Okay, you live in Germantown, Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill, what?
East Oak Lane.
Oh, East Oak Lane, like you said. Sometimes I forget I'm talking to so many people. And what do you like about this event today?
I think it's nice to get the whole neighborhood together. It's a very nice day.
It's a very nice day. And this is a very lovely site. And we have business to talk to after we go for a station break. Vado Communications, Doug Bay of Symbolic Image Productions, Eugene Dye, owner and operator of Channel 4, number 26 on your dial.
Vado Communications, WCHW TV4 Philadelphia. We are still the one.
We're still having fun, and you're still the one. You are still the one that makes me shout. You're still the one that I dream about. We're still having fun, and you're still the one. You are still the one. Yeah, still the one. We're still having fun, and you're still the one.
Watch All in the Family weeknights at 7:30, only on Channel 4, WCHW Philadelphia, the family entertainment station. We are still the one. And now an interview with Mr. Scattergood, only on the great family entertainment station, WCHW Philadelphia.
Okay, I heard of you too.
All right, Mr. Scattergood.
Vado Communications, we're here at Awubery Fair and Plant Sale, annual program. I'm an Awubery kid. I grew up in this park, and we have here with us the chairperson of the program, and his name is Mr. Scattergood. He's a known name in Philadelphia, old Philadelphian, here with City Council President Mr. Joseph Coleman. Hi, how are you doing, Mr. Scattergood? How you feel today?
I'm feeling fine, thanks. I think this is a great day.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would like to ask you some historic questions. How come you didn't have this when I was a kid playing baseball in the park?
Well, we didn't start the Neighbors Association, at least this Neighbors Association, until about 1974. So we were all a little bit older at that time, but it was founded actually, I think, by Mrs. Jenkins. At least she was one of the people. She was a Democratic committee woman, you know, on the Avonhoe Road, right near Chew, and I think that she felt she wanted to know more about the park, and she wanted also, there was a particular crisis at that time because they had the Awubery School, and there was some question as to what their expansion would bring. Actually, it didn't bring so much. That, you know, as a school for retarded individuals.
Sure, I remember the school. Now, could you, answer this question? How many people do you think will attend this affair? And what is the main character of the people that would attend? Would they be active people in the community, or would they just be people with things to sell, or did you have a system for that?
Well, we really have, there'll mostly be active people, but there will be some others in the community. That's, you know, you never can tell how it's going to go, but some hundreds, but I don't know, just that we've had various people, not only in this community, but from outlying communities occasionally. And
would you hold for a minute?
Sure.
Now, Councilman Coleman has to go. Yes. Coleman has to leave, and we've been holding him quite a while. Thanks a lot, sir. And I'll give you a call. I want to ask you something.
All right, thanks.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Coleman. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Right.
Mr. Scattergood, my name is Cleveland Douglas. They call me Doug Bay on television, and this is for Vado Communications. We're East Germantown radio and television local programming. And I would like to ask you a few questions, or maybe you can tender some information without me interviewing you.
Well,
make it brief and to the point.
Sure.
Give me 3 points that you would like to discuss since you've been here with Councilman Coleman.
Well, I think that we'd like to discuss this. This is the East Germantown. It's part of East Germantown, and the Awubery Arboretum, you know, has been here for 70 years.
I've been playing here since 1958.
Is that so? Well, I've been playing here even longer, but you're young.
Yeah.
But I think this is a way of a fair of attracting attention to Awubery, the Arboretum, and of course our neighbors are also interested in things like cleanup, like good housing, seeing that houses which are boarded up are fixed up and sold. And generally, we're interested in the whole thing in the community and helping youth. Another association, the Awubery Arboretum Association, but it's very closely allied with this. And we've had this for the past 2 summers. This is the 3rd summer, and we've gotten grants from various people because they see the worthwhileness of it. people growing up in this crowded city. Even here it's fairly crowded, but we do have this wonderful arboretum and can show them what the worth of the environment is, you know, and how they can keep care of it and keep it clean. Yeah, sure.
Could you tell me, do you still have the sheriff here that you used to have in years back?
I don't believe so. We've had various sheriffs, but actually now we have a mounted policeman, you know, who's from the city. But we don't have, no, we had Featherman, I forget his, you know, I should know. When in the 50s this was. Well, there was a Frank Arnone, you know.
Yeah, I know him.
Yes, well, he resigned after,
okay,
you know,
Mr.
10 years or
we got
so.
to take it away to a station break. And would you direct me to the lady that you told me, Miss, what's her name?
Mrs. Miller.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mrs. Miller.
Mrs. Obie, you've already met, of course. Okay. Well, anyway.
Okay.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone, weeknights at 10 o'clock, only on Channel 4. And now some memorable shots from the Awubery Fair featuring Doug Bay on WCHW, the great entertainer. Nobody does it better. Hi, I'm Eugene Dye, your voiceover announcer for Awubery Flower and Fair Show. Nobody does it better. Vado Communications, WCHW TV4 Philadelphia. We are still the one.
We're still having fun, and you're still the one. You are still that makes me shout. You're still the one that I dream about. We're still having fun, and you're still the one. You're still the one. You're still the one. We're still having fun, and you're still the one.
We've got it, and that's The Honeymooners, weeknights at 11 o'clock, only on the Family Entertainment Station. We're still the one. And now back to your host, Doug Bay, on Channel 4 WCHW Philadelphia. We're still the one.
Vado Communications, Symbolic Image Productions at the Awubery Auditorium for the annual fair and plant sale. And we have quite a few young people with us, young ladies and young gentlemen, I assume, and they're ready to make a commercial. Now, I'm going to tell you what to say. We're going to do a little game here. Now, you're going to be number 1, you're going to be number 2, you're going to be number 3, you're going to be number 4, you're going to be number 5, you're going to be number 6, you're going to be 7. Now, whatever number I call out, I want you to say, we're still the one. That's all I want you to do. We're still the one. Say it loud. Now, I'm going to call numbers. I'm going to call the numbers out one at a time, and after one at a time, we're going to have everybody say it all together, okay? Not ready? Dry run first. Number 7.
We're still the one.
Number 3.
We're still the one.
Number 2.
We're still the one.
Number 4.
We're still the one.
Number 5.
We're still the one.
Number 6.
We're still the one.
Number 1.
We're still the one.
Vado Communications is still the one. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our personnel. What's your name, brother?
Rex Dooley.
Rex Dooley? What school do you attend?
Ada Lewis.
Ada Lewis, what grade are you in?
7.
What's your favorite hobby?
Gymnastics.
Can you break dance?
Nope.
Okay, I don't want to talk to you no more. What's your name?
Lisa Daniels.
What school?
WB Saw.
WB Saw, you're going to be a farmer, right?
No.
Oh, veterinarian?
No.
What?
Going into food service management.
That's great. And what grade are you in?
12th.
12th grade, and you're ready for college. Have you pursued it yet?
No, I'm going into the Army.
You're gonna, that's the best place to go. Be an airborne ranger so they can kill you and your wife and your husband can get the benefits. What's your name?
Lisa Jones.
Lisa Jones. What school you go to, Lisa?
Ada Lewis.
Ada Lewis. What grade are you in?
7.
7th grade. And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A computer engineer.
Okay, that's great. That's a good field. Hello, what's your name? You dancing, so I know what your name is, right? What's your name?
Crystal Dooley.
Crystal Dooley. Okay, and what school do you attend?
Ada Lewis.
And what grade are you in?
7.
7th grade. What do you want to be when you grow up? Dance Fever's consultant. What's your name?
Michelle Jones.
Michelle Jones. What school do you attend?
Girls High.
We finally got somebody in high school. All you junior high school folks, spread out. Now, you go to Girls High?
Yes.
What grade are you in?
10.
And what career choices are you considering right now?
Either I want to be a teacher or a dancer.
A teacher or a dancer? What kind of dance? Yeah. Can you break dance?
No.
Can you pop?
No.
Well, how you gonna be a dancer if you don't know how to break and pop? I was gonna ask you to give me a little taste. Okay, it's nice talking to you, Lisa. Best of luck at Girls High.
Michelle.
Michelle, it's very nice talking to you, Michelle. And best of luck at your school and get all A's so you can go to school and be an engineer. Okay? Now, here we go with. We have to make a special concession for here. What's your number? What was your number?
6.
Oh, you remember? And he's still the one, number 6. What's your name, bro?
Joseph Daniels.
Joseph Daniels. And what school do you attend?
Lincoln All Motivation.
Lincoln All Motivation. And what courses are you taking there? What subjects?
Failing courses. I'm taking English, algebra, science, world history.
That's great. You got a full load, right? Now, is this a magnet school or I've been out of high school so long, I don't remember what it's like, but is this a special program for advanced people or is it just a regular program?
It's a regular program.
And you getting good grades?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
Basketball player? Or take Roger's place on, what's that show?
What's happening?
Yeah, he looks like Roger out here. What's that? Now, how you doing?
Okay.
What's your name?
David Daniels.
David Daniels? And what school do you attend?
Ada Lewis.
Ada Lewis?
Yeah.
And what grade are you in?
7.
7. And what do you like? What do you like about school? Sports?
Sports, science, and gym.
Okay. Can you dance?
No.
See, because you don't want to show me no new steps. I'm trying to count some steps, cuz. Okay, now look, enjoy yourself. Have a good day.
Okay.
Our heartbeat and singing to our song. So you're moving to our rhythm.
You got it.
Come on along. Everybody to our party. See the laughter in our eyes. It's that Philadelphia spirit, Philadelphia spirit running high. Philadelphia. Get to know us. See what people who believe in the power of each other can do. Get to know us. Philadelphia. Once you get to know us, you never want to say goodbye.
This is WCHW, Channel 4, Philadelphia. We're still the one.
Here we are at Awubery Arboretum's Fair and Plant Sale, and it has appeared to be a success. We're in the Awubery Park complex, and this is a unique situation to be in an urban area. I mean, this is it's suburban as suburban can be, even rural to a certain aspect. We have tennis courts, swimming pool complex, middle school complex, beautiful estates and homes surrounding Awubery Arboretum. And we have the president of the organization, Mr.
Roland Banks.
Mr. Roland Banks, and we have his cohort here. And what's your name, sir?
Carl Boyd.
Carl Boyd.
Past president.
Oh, shakers and movers like the man said, huh? That's great. Now, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, some closing questions. I want you to answer as briefly as you can because we're running out of power on our studio. Now, we'll start with you, sir.
Not going to ask any hard ones, are you?
No, I'm not, nothing political, but, you know, this is general. Now, Mr. President, how long have you been a resident of this area?
I've been in this area 10 years this year.
Okay, 10 years. And do you own a home in the park?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
In the park? No.
In the auditorium?
No, just outside of the Arboretum.
Okay.
On Rittenhouse Street.
Oh, okay, on Rittenhouse Street. There are nice homes there. And is property being maintained as it was when you first moved there?
Absolutely.
Or do you see a difference? And this is because of your organization and your concern of the neighbors?
Yeah, I'd like to take some of that credit. And at the same time, the neighbors themselves should get some of the credit for maintaining their own homes.
That's good, good president. And Carl, what's your part in this former president? Former presidents have a hard way to go. They usually go out to pasture somewhere, but I see you still active. Could you give me your impression of what this day means to this community?
Well, it's very important because the people look forward to it, and it gives them something to look forward to on an annual basis, and it aids in providing scholarship funds for some young person for going back to school, and gives him a job, and it brings the people together at least once a year and get that camaraderie that we'd like to see, and then our whole focus is community and involvement, and this helps us to realize that.
Okay. Now, would you tell me, I'm going to ask you first and you next, Carl, who in the political arena or public officer or politician do you think is most supportive of this effort and does something of significance for your organization? From a ward leader on up to, I guess, Councilman Coleman, who I saw here this morning. I don't know what part he actually plays, but this is a political question. I want you to answer as candidly and as openly as you can.
I will do that, absolutely. We try to stay away from any political issue, and we don't ask for any support other than the fact that Councilman Coleman, per se, is the councilman for this particular area. Mm-hmm. So we ask his support in that particular way, but as far as any political moves for us, we don't ask him of anything special. But he does attend our meetings occasionally, and he does give us his vote on or his support on any issue that we need concerning this particular area.
Fine. And what's your impression of the political support for your organization and your community?
Well, we've gotten support from Dave Richardson, and we have some very, very influential people in the community, and some of our movers and shakers know the people to see in order to get something done. So we like to have that bridge between City Hall and the community, and we have individuals like Gay Johnson and Elaine Obey that, and along with others that are fighting constantly to continue to keep that bridge.
Okay, thank you. Now I want you to answer this one word. Which political affiliation, Democratic or Republic, is the mainstay of your residence? This is, if you know or can give conjecture on that issue.
I don't have any comment on that.
Okay.
I would say Democrat.
You say Democratic
yes.
by far, huh?
By far.
And do you think the Democratic Party in the city has given your organization and the citywide the kind of representation that you so righteously deserve?
Well, we would like to see a lot more. We would like to see a lot more in our parks. We have some areas that have been neglected. We understand that there's a shortage of funds, but when the funds are dealt out, we'd like to see that we get our part. And it turns out that sometimes we don't really get our fair share, that we feel that the funds are going into other areas that could be going into services for the people.
Okay. Now, this is a hot issue. I'm going to ask a two-part question, and I'm going to ask you to call Mr. Scattergood over, and so we can wrap it up. But first, the two-part question. The two-part question, he gets rather long-winded and it's hard, and you know, but, okay? Okay, can we go for a station break? WCHW, Channel 4 on your dial, Channel 26 on your television dial. This is Avado Communication Production, Symbolic Image Productions, Executive Producer Cleveland Douglas, Director and Engineer Eugene Dye, Owner and Operator of Avado.
Yeah.
Okay.
And singing to our song, so you're moving to our rhythm.
You got it.
Come on along, everybody to our party. See the laughter in our eyes. It's that Philadelphia spirit running high. Philadelphia, get to know us, see what people who believe in the power of each other can do. Get to know us, Philadelphia. Once you get to know us, you never want to say goodbye.
And now let's wrap the program up with Mr. Cleveland Douglas right here on Channel 4 WCHW Philadelphia. Nobody does it better.
Here we go back again at the Awubery Arbitorium Fair and Plant Sale, a highly successful community activity, a flea market that has everything from sweet potato pies to bric-a-brac, everything from old books to face painting for the children. And we have the three most important organizational persons here today. We're the president, the former president, and the chairman, Mr. Scattergood, Mr.
Roland Banks,
Mr. Banks,
Carl Boyd,
and Mr. Boyd. And we're going to get a little personal politically here, and we want you to answer the question short and brief and no more than 2 sentences. Number one, now seeing the situation that we've had in another part of the city over a very hostile and volatile situation, what would be your report card on our now one of the most sophisticated minority mayors in the country, Wilson Good? What kind of report card would you give him overall, not just for the move situation, but overall? I noticed one thing, that there has been trash in certain areas that haven't been picked up for 3 days. This is the third day trash has been sitting in Mount Airy, for sure, where I live, even in the poorer neighborhoods and the more mobile neighborhoods. Now, what would you say in a few sentences, pro, con, or neutral? Start with Mr. President.
Well, that's kind of a tough situation, but I would say that he has done a fairly nice job originally, and once the move situation, which I'm sure that's the issue you were talking about, kind of swaying that report card to the negative side, I would still give him, a very good.
Okay.
At the same time, you kind of touched on one of the things that really hurt me the most, and that's the trash situation, and it's going to make it kind of tough for him between that and a couple other things.
most worthy opponent? Real quick, 1 or 2 words.
Most worthy opponent? Don't know yet.
Okay. Carl, what would you say on the situation? Keep it to 2 or 3 sentences. Okay. What is your report card on Mr. Good? Not only the move incident, but overall what he has done in his first tenure, or his second tenure, whatever it is, as mayor of the city.
Well, I would, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate him about 7, and say that given the support of the community and allowing him to put behind a terrible tragedy in back of him, I think that he could possibly be a very good mayor.
Thank you. And Mr. Scattergood, last but not least, what would you have to say, sir?
Well, I think it's good and bad. I think that he started off fairly well, but I think he probably wasn't as decisive. But it's an almost impossible job to be a mayor of a big city like Philadelphia with its problems. I think that there was an extreme provocation in this terrible situation he didn't handle so well. But I think that he's learned from it. I think he is being more decisive now with the trash to steam. I think he's got a problem with council as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, one more frame of these gentlemen. These are the men who made the stay possible at the top, and these are the people that made it possible at the bottom, which is most important. And have a good day. You'll be on video. Thank you, sirs, for your cooperation. Have a good day.
This has been the Awubery Park Flower Show, recorded Saturday, May 10th, 1984, featuring Doug Bay. Your voiceover announcer has been Eugene Dye. Your sound man has been Eugene Dye. Camera operator, tape editor, and special effects has been by Eugene Dye. Thanks to Artistic Records for the use of Ghostbusters, and also special thanks to Epic Records for the use of Sly and the Family Stones with Everybody Wants to Be a Star. Now, no part of this program may be recopied in any form or matter without the express written permission of Vado Communications. This is a copyrighted program. I'm Eugene Dye saying stay on Channel 4. We're still the one.
Sports physical therapist.
We have 3 sites. Sports physical therapist is in Bromo. We have Holy Redeemer.
Check.
We're still the one.
Watch wrestling action every Saturday afternoons at 4 o'clock only on Sports 4.
Right now, yes, we'll begin the year in review, 1986, with no less than the World Wrestling Federation champion himself, Hulk Hogan. Let's take a look at the Hulkster.
I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life.
Right. We've got Bundy and Stud right where we want them, man. Let's go out there and take them, brother. The old Mr. Wonderful ways. Let's play it by your rules. Let me tell you something right now. Mr. Wonderful's ready.
He sure took his sweet time about it. Nonetheless, Orndorff finally coming in to help champion Hulk Hogan. Gets him up. Pops him, all right. They'll win the match. Holds his hand up high for victory. They'll win this matchup, but nonetheless, oh no! What in the world? What in the heck was that all about? You got it.